2 of What If These Music Were in Smash. So first of all, let's start with Hot Paws Pizzeria Order Station Lobby Music Extended, which goes like this. Next up, we got Pursuit Cornered Phoenix Wright Ace Eternity Music Extended. It's this. Oh wait, I did this before. Alright, next up we got FNF, Friday Night Funkin'. So first of all, we got Headache, which starts like this. Second, we got Nerves, which is this song. Next up, we got Release, which is the song. Then next up, we got Fading, which is this song. Also, some part you have to do the screen. You have to see the screen. So next up, we got Nonsensical. And it's this. This is the part of the music. But if Smash won't allow that with, like, these notes, it's just the background music. Like I said before, if the music isn't, the music, they can't allow notes because, for a reason, it just sounds like weird to be put in the game. Then just remove the notes and it's just background music. Unless if the background music is already used. Then just remove that. Alright, now, next up we got God Eater. But Shaggy uses 100% of Friday Night Funkin'. Power Friday Night Funkin'. And also, this is the original one too.
Get ready, here I go.
So, this one is just the YouTube version. Unless if it, doesn't sound different, then it's just the same. But also, if they won't allow that, then it's just the background music. But also, it also includes this. If it was the background music, it will include this. Next up, we got King of Fighters' main theme, Now or Never, which is just called Now or Never, which starts off like that. Next up, we got this song. Now, I think I have this game. It's not called that, though. It's Fatal Fury. Now, is this a different song? Okay, so this is the video, but, the songs in it. Next up, this isn't in the list, but, next up we got King of Fighters XX1, which is the one that I actually have. Eka continues. Japan extended. Now, next up, we got Follow Me. Now, also, I already said this. If they won't allow the normal music because they have lyrics, I feel like DK Rap allows it, but it just doesn't feel like it's supposed to be, because there's too much. I mean, I get it, but like I said, if they do that, then it's just the background music. We got one in chapters now. So first of all, let's start with the intro. Next up, we got Geiger Counter. Next up, we got Mighty Man. Now, next up, we got Dear People. Now, next up, we got Personality. Now, next up, we got The Positive. Now, next up, we got Lay That Pistol Down. Now, next up, we got We Found Out. Now next up we got One Desire. Next up we got Kansas in August. Next up we got Congo. Next up we got Mighty Man. Next up we got Undecided. Next up we got Do You Like It? Next up we got All Over. Next up we got Orange Colored Sky. Next up we got Pretty Girl. All of those were a lot. I mean, all of those were long music, but just like if there's like if they want to make it shorter, then just make it shorter. Next up we got this song. Now it's this video. They don't have any chapters, but like when that doesn't have any chapters, I'm just gonna show you it from now so that you know the music's in it. Well, probably not you. You don't know. Next up, we got Monopoly's music playing for Monopoly, what the heck is this game? Alright. Oh wait, this is not a game. So next up, we got this music, which is its 14th anniversary hits Hatsune Miku, but like it's in Japanese. Now another one we got is Netherrealm Memory, which also from Hatsune Miku. Alright, next up we got Hatsune Miku Magic Mirror 10th anniversary. Now all of these musics, if they're Japanese and they're singing with it or saying stuff in it, then it's just going to be translating into English, and like in other languages it's just going to be changing song lyrics to that. Now next up we got First Note Renin Remix Blues, and that is their 15th anniversary. So now I'm just playing the song while I'm explaining it. Next music we got Culture. And no, it's not featuring anybody. Next up we got Thunderbolt, and yes, I'm playing that song. So next up we got Super Meat Boy Full Lost. This is not all of them though. So first of all we got Boy Meets Girl, but this is the intro movie. Alright, next up we got the main theme. Alright, next up we got Force Funk. Force Funk with a MK. Next up we got Ballad of the Burning Squirrel. Next up we got The Battle of Lil Slugger. Next up we got Beatus Blues. Betus Blues. Next up we got Chad's Broken Wind. And when I say the same, and also it's with that and to Dark World. Next up we got Chad's Lullaby, which is too boss. Now also, by the way, the intro movie will also have that inside. And also main theme, some Super Meat Boy, and then Force Funk, One Light World, and then Ballad, One Dark World, and then One Boss, and then Two Light World, and then okay, down there. Okay, next up we got Can of Salt. Next up we got Rocket Rider. Can of Salt, which is Light World, and then Rocket Rider is 3 Dark World. And then next up we got Fast Track to Brown Town, 3 Boss. Next up we got something I do not want to say, 4 Light World. Next up we got Devil and Boss, 4 Dark World. Next up we got Meat Golem, 4 Boss. 4 Boss, not 4 Boss. Next up we got It Ends, 5 Light World. And then next up we got Dr. Fetus Castle, 5 Dark World. Next up we got Larry's Limit, 5 Boss. Next up we got It Ends 2 and Harder, which it's listed 2 dots also, 6 levels. Next up we got Carmidi Burana, which is 6 Boss. Next up we got Escape with that. Next up we got End Credits. Next up we got McLarty Party People, 7 levels. Next up we got Meat Spin, 10 internet levels. Next up we got Force Funk Retro, which when I say it's chapter, I realize that. 1 Warp Zone. Next up we got Beatus Blues Retro, 2 Warp Zone. I'm gonna turn the music down a little. So next up we got Can of Salt, Chapter 3 Warp Zone. Now next up we got Hot Something I do not want to say Retro, Chapter 4 Warp Zone. Now next up we got It Ends Retro, Chapter 5 Warp Zone. Next up we got Matthias. Oh, it's just called Matthias. Matthias Hams. I'm not gonna read that because I don't know what it says. And then Matthias, those Man Meat Mix Remix free. Next up we got George, Android Music, whatever that says, Metal Meat Remix free. Next up we got Inverse Phase, Boss Burger and Chips. Now it's also with that, but also remix free. Next up we got C418, which Meatcraft, I'll call it that, and then it's remix free. And then the last 2 are Joss Wheelchill, Power of the Meat, featuring Melinda Hershey, featuring Melinda Hershey, remix free. Now next up, now the last one, it ends with a whimper. Now next up we got Half-Life, not Full Life, get it. Now the first one is Vague Voices. Next up we got Adrenaline Horror. I'll speed it up. Normal to this %. Next up we got Klaxon Beat. Next up we got Space Ocean, which the reason why I'm speeding it up, because, well, the other two music, it just doesn't sound like anything at the start, so yeah, just remove that. Next up we've got Cavern and Bayans. Now also the video is linked in the description, this video, or you could just search it up. Next up we got Hurricane Strings. Next up we got Diabolical Adrenaline Guitar. Next up we got Hazardous Valve theme long version. Next up we got Nepal Monstery. Now next up we got Alien Shock. Next up we got Sirens in the Distance. Now change it to normal. Now normal speed. And next up we got Nuclear Missing Jam. Next up we got Drums and Riffs. Next up we got Hard Technology Rock. Next up we got Steam in the Pipes. Next up we got Electric Tar Ambience, which I don't know how to say that. It said ambience, but I'm not sure if it was that. Now next up we got Dimensionless Deepness. Next up we got Military Precision. Now next up we got Jungle Drums. Now next up we got Traveling Through Limbo. Next up we got Credits Closing Theme. This isn't all low. Next up we got Threatening Short, or close to all. Next up we got Apprehensive Short. Next up we got Bass String Short. Next up we got Scared Confusion Short. Next up we got Dark Piano Short. Next up we got Sharp Fear Short. Next up we got Indigo Quarry 3, which is this. Now next up we got Ranch Theme. I kind of miss playing this. It's relaxing though, too. Next up we got Ranch Night. Now next up we got Jenda Anderson, and it's from Astral Chain. Next up we got Legion Assault. Now Monopoly Monopoly is older than YouTube. Okay. Now this is the soundtrack though, and without chapters, so I'm not playing the full version. You search it up. Now when I said that it's in link in the description, it's actually search it up. You can search it up. Now, next up, Monopoly main theme, Wii and PS2 soundtrack. And by the way, this is what it's called, and there's no chapters in it, so I said the name for you so that you can do it. Next up, we got Swing, Monopoly, iOS. Now, next up, we got Rockin' Music from Ninja Raiden. Now, next ones could be in Smash. I just don't have DLC. So first of all, we got Dragon Quest V11 Rembrandts. Next up, we got Dragon Quest V11 with that. Now, every time I say with a V, I'll say 2 dots, which are those 2 dots. Strolling in Town, Dragon Quest 3, 2 dots, Distant Memories, Dragon Quest V, 2 dots, The Ocean, Dragon Quest V3, 2 dots, Mysterious Tower, Dragon Quest V1, I don't know that number, V1, 2 dots, Inviting Village Folk Dancer into the Town. Next up, we got Dragon Quest 2, 2 dots, Endless World. Next up, we got Dragon Quest IX, which every time that I say Dragon Quest and with the 2 dots, that isn't the part of the name. I'm just saying that where it's from. And next, this is called the Observatory. The Observatory. I think that's what to say. Next up, we got Dragon Quest V1, 2 dots, which I'm just not gonna say 2 dots for now, because if it's where it's from, then it's just not that. Ocean Waves. Now, where it's from, Dragon Quest, not the name, Sad Village with that thing, Mysterious Disappearances, Disturbed Village. Now, also, it's with that when you couldn't see it. Now, next up, we got what is from Dragon Quest V11. Now, what is called Days of Sadness. Next up, we got Dragon Quest V Heaven. That's what it's called. Dragon Quest V, it's where it's from. Next up, we got Dragon Quest LLL, where it's from. Whatever that is, Small Shrine. Now, next up, we got Dragon Quest IX, where it's from. Now, sometimes I'm just saying the IX, or like what it says, but like they're actually numbers because I don't know the numbers. That one that I played previous was Hills and Meadows. Now, next up, we got Dragon Quest V111. That's where it's from. Oh yeah, that's rhymes. Traveling with Wagon. Next up, we got Dragon Quest Melancholy. Next up, we got Dragon Quest to 3 elves heavenly fight. Now next up we got Dragon Quest V11 or VLLL. Strange world marching through with the fields. Next up we got Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest V11, which is where it's from. Memories of a Lost Land. Next up, we got Dragon Quest. Well, I want to say next up, and then I play it. Dragon V111. Peace, which is where it's from. Peaceful town, quiet village. Next up, we got Dragon Quest V, which I think it's 5. No, that's not 5. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Make me feel sad. Next up, we got Dragon. Oh yeah, the Dragon Quest V. It's Dragon Quest 1. Dragon Quest V111. Sorrow over the sorrow. Now, the last ones are Dragon Quest Over the Horizon, Dragon Quest Ocean Waves. Sorry, I put it in twice by accident. Did he? No. And then the last one we got Dragon Quest 2. I don't think it's 2. Dragon Quest 2 Requiem. Now next up we got Fatal Fury, the motion picture, Oh Angel. Next up we got Fatal Fury, the new battle. And it's called Keep on Calling. Now also this list used to be, well, Super Smash Bros. Ultra music with it included, but like I just want it to use for music now. Like I could still do it on my tablet without the characters. Because well yeah, this music is already in Smash. But well, this is what it's called. If you wanna get it. Now next up we got Warframe Ost. This is what you are. Now next up we got Warframe Ost, the sacrifice to take its pain away. Which is to take its pain away. Smiles from Durin. Smiles from Durin. Next up we got Riddle School. Transfer all main themes. Which the first theme that we're playing right now is title screen. Next up we got Riddle School. Next up we got Riddle School 2. Riddle School 3. Riddle School 4. Riddle School 5. Riddle School 6 / Riddle Transfer. Now Riddle School 7 / Riddle Transfer 2. Now next up we got Tank Hero Ost Lobby, which we'll just call it Lobby from Tank Hero. Let's just call it Lobby. Now I'm just gonna play the full song because it's just 39 seconds, but like when it come out it's 40. And now next music we got Team Kiro Laser Win theme. Oh, let's just call it Win Theme. Next up we got, well, now we're done.